We all know that Draya Michele is now a chef, and we get to see that fans can start talking about her surprisingly elegant homemade chicken.
Mom, I got tie it up for you.
Go ahead, put it on, Light.
Picture.
You got yours on?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look cute.
Just like right.
All right, say hi.
Hi.
Okay? Today we're gonna be making a simple French chicken. I don't usually talk a lot in the videos, so if this gets cut out, you know why. So first and foremost, we'll be cooking with a lot of butter today. This, however, is chicken fat. This is my holy grail. I actually made this in culinary school by making chicken stock, and this was all of the extra fat that was off the top that I skimmed off the top and saved. Now I use it as my cooking oil because it's 100% natural. So the chicken I'm using is chicken that I bought a few weeks ago that I already previously cleaned and then I froze because I bought way too much. And honestly, this is still a bit frozen and I'm not gonna cook it like that. So I'm gonna dry these off as much as I can and I'm gonna let them sit out at room temperature for a little bit. And I don't know if you guys can see, but I have two cutting boards, one on top of each other. That's because when I am done seasoning this chicken and putting it into the pot, I'm going to completely get rid of this cutting board altogether and have it washed for later so it is out of my way. And then I'm just going to re-sanitize my station so that we don't got to deal with no salmonella. Okay, here's a good example of when you find a little piece of chicken that looks weird. So this can get cut off, actually. You can always feel free to trim the chicken, the fat off of it if you want. But like this is like a little bruise and there's nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing, it's completely edible. It is just personal preference in the appearance of if you want that on your chicken. And I do not, so I cut it off. I'm using chicken thighs and I want to point out that they are super affordable, super tender and delicious, and I think one of chicken's most underrated portions. I love a chicken thigh, so you know, we will cook these and we will make them gourmet and see like, okay, so this is a perfect example of this right here. Now, if I was frying this chicken, I would keep all of this on here and let the batter get it, but because we're not, we're gonna saute it, we're gonna like pan fry it. We don't need all that, so we can trim all that excess off. That's just ridiculous. Like this one has a little bit too much as well, so I'm gonna just trim that. It also makes your chicken look really nice when you trim the fat off, when you cook it. It just cooks and it looks like it's from a restaurant. I'm just now noticing I'm probably gonna have to do this dinner in 3 parts, which is fine because you know what? I think that y'all appreciate it more when it's longer and it's more detailed. So this section is just gonna be the chicken section. Like, see, yeah, this is ridiculous. You don't need this all in here. If you want it to just be a nice piece of chicken in the end, you can go ahead and cut this whole fat off. And if you just cut it in a nice square, you'll have these nice, just clean, like, look at that now. It's like a nice, clean piece of chicken. So when you cook it, it'll cook really lovely. See, this little piece can go too. So yeah, I'm just cutting these off. And sometimes the chicken skin is a bit hard to cut. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm happy here. Okay, I'm not quite sure where we left off, but this is the part that's gonna seem very controversial to a lot of people. We are making chicken, and it's a very simple pan sauteed chicken. Normally I wouldn't scratch my head like that, but I had to. Anyway, it's gonna just be seasoned with salt. I know that you guys are not gonna like that, but I did learn this method in culinary school, and I found it to be delicious because we are going to be adding the sauce to this chicken after her finishing, so it doesn't need too much, you know? Like, I know we love our paprika and we love our color on stuff, but like, this just doesn't need it, okay? So just stay with me. I had technical difficulties because my salt grinder started to malfunction, so I had to basically grind up salt myself here, and yeah, you know what, I'm gonna dry these a little bit more. They're a little bit damper than I would like, but yeah, just simple salt is all you need, and not too much either. And this is big salt. So now we're gonna add our chicken fat to a pan, a nice amount. Yeah, because we want her to fry up good. So we're gonna let that warm. So I believe that the key to crispy skin is no moisture, so keeping your chicken dry as possible. That's why we salted it first and we let it sit out so it's nice and room temp. I want to show you guys that the pan is nice and hot. I'm gonna lower it a little bit, and I'm gonna place the chicken thighs face, skin side down, because we're only gonna flip these bad boys once, and it's gonna get crazy, y'all. And it's okay if you start getting scared, because I always do, because it is scary. But you just want to make sure they each have their own amount of room. And see what I mean? Here's my chicken cutting board. That's going right to the sink. It should never be seen or heard from again. And then we're going to wash our hands and sanitize. And don't be having your heat up all high because we're not going to rush this. Okay, I think we're ready. It's not crackling, so just do the caution. We're gonna get color. Once you flip them and they got that golden brown color, you can go ahead and let them cook on low for the rest of the way, uncovered, slow and low, so that the chicken gets all the way cooked through. So this is gonna be your longest part of the process. During this process, while you're waiting, you're gonna get tempted to flip them back over onto the skin side, and don't you dare, because the juices are moving to where they need to go. And that's just like, don't you dare do it. You just have patience and let it cook all the way through like this. That's it. You're still going, we're like 8 or 9 minutes in, still cooking on low. But you hear it, and you could see it. And then remember that cutting board we said we weren't gonna see anymore. Well, she's washed and sanitized and has a nice clean sheet of parchment paper on. When you feel like they're done, I'm gonna take them out. And you're gonna just place them, and leave them. Let them cool, let them chill out. And now finish watching for part 2 for our sauce. Okay, so this is part 2. I'm going to prepare a beurre blanc sauce that is going to accompany our seared, pan sauteed chicken that is super crispy and that is just cooling over there a little bit to just carry over cook and let all the juices settle where they need to go. So first things first. A shallot. These are my babies. I grow these in my garden. This one I didn't grow in my garden. This actually came from the grocery store. However, I feel like it's always a bonus when you get one that like has a split in it, because it's kind of like a 2-for-1 deal. So shallots, I feel like we use shallots in damn near every dish in culinary school. So I have learned to love them. At first I didn't really know what they were for, and I don't really know what the technical term is for them, but I call it a fancy ass onion. So you call it what you want, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this up very small, extremely small. And for those of you, yes! As small as you can get them. And then ones that didn't chop all the way up, you can go back through. And give them a little something, something. Ooh, look at all those back there that we missed. Okay, so that's a good amount, but I'm sorry, I want more. I just love them. All right, so this is a bigger piece, so I feel safer showing you the proper way to cut it. You always want to keep the root attached because that's going to hold your onion together and give you a nice good base while you're cutting. This part's dangerous. So you see all these layers, you're going to want to go in and make rows. Okay? As best as you can. As best as you can. This part's not always the easiest. Okay? So you got your rows, okay? Okay, we got a couple. They could be way smaller. Real chefs get them shits super small. Then you're gonna go in and make lines. I call them lines. This is crazy. Lines. The lines are usually easier. Okay, after you do the lines, you have a group like that, and then you're just gonna go down and cut these. This should be your easiest, most fun, most satisfying part of everything. This is the part I enjoyed the most in school. Super therapeutic to me. And then these ones, these big old ones, just go ahead and cut them up a little bit more. I feel like they're too big. See, these are way smaller, but because that shallot was so small. Honestly, I feel like this is a great amount of shallots. And if you want, just go back again. Okay, so this is our pan that we use for our chicken, and right now it has way too much grease in it. So what I like to do is take a paper towel and just kind of absorb some of it. So we shall do that. All right, so we got most of it out on the paper towel. It's been cooled a little bit, so look, there's just like a little bit. It's just like enough to cook the pan. Okay, so we're gonna go put that back on the flame. Well, actually, I lied. We are going to cut up some cold butter. Probably about 2 sticks. This is a stick that I've already used some of it, so yeah, just cubes. Cubes is cool. They don't gotta be perfect, but they do need to be cold. So if you feel like you're gonna cut them and not use them for a while, it's okay to put them back in the fridge for a little bit. I'm gonna cut up 2 sticks. Our other ingredient's gonna be tarragon. We are going to rinse this and dry it really well. Okay, so for tarragon, you only want like the leaves. So I feel like that's kind of the easiest way to do it. Just yeah, these are good. That one's crap. pull them down like that. And then these, you're just gonna slice through them. You know, slice through them super fine. Now this seasoning, well, this herb had to grow on me because originally I thought it tasted like black licorice, which honestly, I still think it tastes like that. But I'll take it any day over disgusting rosemary. And then this, you don't want to chop too much because it'll start to get bruised and it'll start to get weird. So honestly, I think that's enough. So far we've got our main ingredients. The only other ingredient that's missing is a little bit of lemon and some white wine. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna heat back up our pot that we already used for the chicken. A little bit of oil that's already in it. And we are going to dump our shallots in there. I think it's just easier to take the damn cutting board and just swoop it in there. Okay, and so while they're doing their thing, they're just in there on low because we're not trying to fry them up. We're just trying to, in what we call in culinary school, sweat them. Dang, we're at 7 minutes already. Okay, y'all don't need to see how a wine bottle's open. You know how. Okay, so I believe our onions are sweated enough. You don't want them brown. We're gonna pour in some of the wine, a good amount. And you know what the wine is gonna do? It's gonna take off all this little burnt stuff, which is really crazy that it does that, but it's so good for your pots and pans. Okay, I feel like once you get to here, you're at a good place. You can turn the heat off. That's it, it's off. Lemon. The cold butter, remember? Now this is a weird process. You're just gonna whisk it in and see what it's gonna do. And we're gonna put all the butter in, all of it. Keep on whisking. And this is not on, the pot is not on.
Upstairs? They come this way.
Then last is tarragon. It goes in last.
Okay, I'm gonna show you.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are taking a look at Draya Michele's latest cooking video where she wore designer fashion for a black apron and showed fans how she prepares a simple chicken dinner from scratch. From chopping the fresh onions to planting a restaurant-worthy meal, this wasn't just another celebrity post, it gave fans a glimpse into her everyday life. The beginning of the video with Draya stepping into the modern kitchen, trying on a black apron and getting ready to cook. She keeps things simple by preparing the chicken with fresh ingredients, carefully chopping the onions and seasoning the meal before cooking. Throughout the video, she looks relaxed and focused, showing that sometimes the best meal doesn't need complicated recipes. As the cooking continues, viewers get closer look at her beautiful kitchen setup, professional cooking equipment, and a clean presentation. We get to see the cooking atmosphere finally reveal what caught everyone's attention: a beautiful plated chicken dish served with white rice, roasted broccoli, and creamy sauce. The presentation looked restaurant quality, while celebrities are often known for glamorous events, luxurious lifestyle. Moments like these allow fans to connect.